and welcome to Cupcake Addiction's Hello Kitty Cake Pop tutorial, where I'll be showing you how to make this absolutely adorable Hello Kitty cake pop. You might have caught our Hello Kitty cupcakes, and this little cake pop will be the perfect accessory to those. Tools and equipment that I will be using today: I've got some sticky tape, I've got a pre-rolled cake pop ball. If you don't have a great recipe for getting your cake pop balls to this stage ready to decorate, I will leave a link to the one on our channel in the description box below. I've got a toothpick and a lollipop stick, some melted white chocolate. I've got Hello Kitty's dress. Now I've got a little template for you guys, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. That's found on our Facebook page, so you can just print those out on a regular household computer printer with just some normal paper. And you can see there I've cut Hello Kitty's head off because we're going to be making that today, and I've just cut around the outline of her dress. I've got some little pink love heart sprinkles. These are just little pink love heart sprinkles. They come out at a lot of different cake decorating shops, and you can also buy them online. If you don't have access to these where you are, you can make a little flower out of fondant. Otherwise you can cut it out of perhaps roll up or something like that. I've got some candy covered chocolate chips. Now for us here in Australia, at our local supermarket, these are called rainbow choc chips, and that's how they come. But if you don't have access to those, anything small and yellow, so nerds are a great option, but you just want something small and yellow. You can use a little bit of yellow melted chocolate, or you could also use a little bit of yellow fondant. Let's get started. So firstly we need to shape Hello Kitty's head. I've got two versions here because this one's been refrigerated just to save us some time today. Taking your cake pop ball, it's in a nice ball shape, so just taking that ball, you just want to very, very slightly roll it, just so it's a little, kind of like an egg shape, and give it the tiniest little squish. You don't want to squash it down, we're just making it more of an oval. Now with that oval, from the outside, you're just going to use your finger and your thumb just to pinch up a little ear, and the same on the other side. So make sure that you're not going too into the center with them, because Hello Kitty's ears are quite on the outside and they're not very big, so don't make them too big or too pointy. And with your thumb, we're just going to push down that top, just to give us a nice Hello Kitty sort of a head shape. Just turn it around to face me so that I'm happy with how it looks. Alright, so that should be what you have for your Hello Kitty head shape. Now as I mentioned, this one here has been refrigerated, so this is really firm. You want this to be really nice and firm. We're going to take the lollipop stick and dip it in that melted white chocolate, about 1 centimetre or so of chocolate. Take Hello Kitty, turn her upside down, and insert that into the bottom of her head. Now because we know we're going to be putting this dress on her, you want to take, now if this should happen, see the little crack appearing in my cake pop, you want to just take a little bit of that chocolate and just push it into the crack. Those cracks will actually cause your cake pop to crack once you dip it in chocolate. So if you can see anything like that, just coat it in a little bit of chocolate. Because we know we're going to put the dress on her, I'm just going to take my fingers and just remove that little seal. So the chocolate's still going to be holding our cake pop ball on, but I don't have that big chunky seal which is going to separate her head from her neck. We're going to let that one completely set, so I'm going to pop it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back to continue dipping and decorating. Alright, so we're back from the fridge, and I'm happy that it's completely set and nice and firm, so it's time to dip. Taking your melted white chocolate, just dip your Hello Kitty head in, make sure that it meets all the way up with that stick. Pulling it out, just give it a few taps to get off any excess. Make sure that you do turn your cake pop while you're tapping it to make sure you get an even distribution of that white chocolate. Alright, so my Hello Kitty is nicely dipped, and it's time to add on our flower and nose detail. Now I found it easiest to do the flower first because her nose is quite low down on her face. So taking one of those little yellow choc chips or whatever it is that you're using, just carefully place it right up corner of her ear there, and then we're going to take our little pink love hearts and we're just going to fashion them around like her little flower. I left mine standing up a little bit out of the chocolate to give it a three-dimensional look. If you love this tutorial, make sure that you do head over to our channel MyCupcakeAddiction. We've got lots of great tutorials on there, and we would love to have you stop by. You can just use your toothpick like I am here just to position them I actually normally have a pair of cake decorating tweezers, and they're just for cake decorating, and you would be amazed how much I use them. Kind of wish I had them now. And when you put that last one in, just grab your toothpick and just give them a little bit of an adjust so that they're relatively even. I'm just going to flick them back up again to make sure none have fallen down, and I've still got my lovely 3D flower. Beautiful. Also got to pop in our little Hello Kitty nose. So the Hello Kitty nose should be right down low, about a quarter of the way up her face. And I've popped that pointy side in so that it's just a nice round yellow nose. So Hello Kitty is currently looking like this, and now we have to wait for her to completely dry before we can put her eyes and whiskers and her beautiful little dress on. Alright, so Kitty is all set, completely dry, and it's time to add on her details. So taking our sticky tape, very kind of primitive, just a little bit of sticky tape, I'm going to attach one side of it to one side of her dress, and lifting her up. Push the neck, so you can see here our nice clean neat bottom on her head. Push the neck right up flush, and then bring that sticky tape around at the back and curl it around. You can use a pair of scissors if you've got a little tiny bit of excess sticky tape just to neaten it up. Push it right up, and now she's dressed. Alright, time to add on just the eyes and the whiskers, and we're just going to use a little bit of black food colouring. You can also use black candy melts, and I generally like to just put a tiny bit of alcohol, rose spirit or vodka, just like a drop to maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of food colouring, and that just helps it dry and set a little bit faster. Alright, so for her eyes, and I like to do the eyes first because we don't want to drag through the whiskers as we're trying to do them. They're down quite close to the nose, and they're quite far apart, so we just want two nice little ovals. One. Do make sure that you're looking at her front on here so that you can make sure that you're getting them nice and evenly spaced. Alright, so there you've got her two eyes and the whiskers. Now I'm going to take off a bit of that colour just so that I've not got too much on my little toothpick, and I'm just going to come right out to the edges and just kind of drag the side of the toothpick up on a slight angle, and I'm turning the toothpick to hopefully get a fresh side out on a bit of a straight. And down. Make sure that you don't have too much black on your toothpick at this stage. You don't want to do a big chunky thick whisker. So there you have your gorgeous, completed and fully clothed Hello Kitty cake pop, perfect for your next event for the Hello Kitty lover in your life. As always, I hope that you've enjoyed watching this tutorial as much as I have loved making it for you, and thank you very much for tuning in.